Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user Alternative Site 1468. Am I the a-hole for how I reacted when my niece announced she was engaged? I, 33 male, have a pretty big age difference with my brother, 44 male. He had a child at 25, which means I became an uncle at 14. Because we were pretty close in age, I formed a special bond with my niece, Ella, now 18 female. When she was 16, my brother and his family moved away, so I've been seeing less of them recently, but we keep in touch and catch up at family events. Last year at Christmas, my niece told me that she had a boyfriend and told me a bit about him, but I didn't know the guy. He was invited for Easter and a couple of other events, but was never able to make it. When we were planning our mother's birthday, my brother decided to invite Ella's boyfriend so that we could all meet him. Yesterday was the birthday. I was looking forward to meeting Mark, Ella's boyfriend, but was very confused when I saw her walk in with a man that looked double her age. Spoiler alert, he is. She introduced him to me and I politely smiled but was deep down very concerned. I went to my brother to ask how old Mark was and he told me that Mark is 36, so literally double Ella's age. She had told me that he was a bit older, but I assumed like early to mid-20s, not almost 40. That's when they called us in the living room to share exciting news. Ella showed us a ring and revealed that they were engaged. I just said, "What the F?" And everyone turned around and looked at me like I was crazy. I told them that they were out of their minds if they thought this was normal, that there was no world in which a 30-something should date an 18-year-old and that she shouldn't be getting married. All of them accused me of ruining Ella's happiness. Some even said that I was jealous of Mark, which is so effing disgusting I can't even explain it. I mean, I'm younger than Mark, but never in a million years would I ever consider dating someone younger than 25. They told me that it was perfectly legal as they were both adults, which isn't true because they've been dating for a year and Ella turned 18 7 months ago, and that if they were happy, that's all that matters. I told them that they were sick for allowing this and that he was a predator, but they wouldn't listen. I know this isn't my business, but I can't help but fear for Ella. She is young and doesn't really know what she's getting into. I'm really scared of her getting married and being unable to leave him when she realizes how sick it was. I then left and slammed the door and have been receiving pretty wild messages and calls since then. I don't know if I was wrong for this and I'm just overreacting, and if I wasn't wrong, I don't know what I can do to make them realize how wrong it is. Am I the a-hole? No, OP, you're not wrong and you're not the a-hole. In my opinion, you're the only one that acted with any kind of sanity in that room. I think just as you. What the F? It is gross and he is a predator, and your family getting angry at you because you called it out is just ridiculous in my opinion. Having said all that, OP, and here comes the difficult part. You can't stop it, you can't force it to stop or anything like that, and if you push too hard, you risk that Ella might cut you off completely and then she would be isolated with him, which is exactly what predators want. So in my opinion, your best move is to keep that relationship alive. Make it clear to Ella that you love her and that you're always in her corner. That way, if she ever realizes that she needs a way out, then you're a safe person to turn to. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section, and now let's check out the community comments. At Accomplished 6870 says, a 75-year-old going after a 17-year-old is sick. They are just too far apart in life experiences and station in life to have a relationship based on mutual respect and equality. These types of relationships are usually based on mutual exploitation. He gets a pretty young thing, she gets access to material benefits not usually earned by people in her age group, and that is not a great thing to base a relationship on. I know I'm generalizing and there are cases of true and healthy love between people with this kind of age gap, but my reaction is the same as yours. This likely puts you on the outs with your family, but someone had to say what you said. Wisebird Casey says, I, at 18 years, married a 31-year-old and my advice to your niece is run, run, run. No Edition 5543 says, he's a predator. You're right. The most important thing you can do is get her on birth control because he's going to destroy her life. And Lady a lot 1 says, not the a-hole. Call your niece and apologize for your outburst. Explain that you have never known a good man of that age to go after someone so young and you reacted out of fear. Tell her you trust her to put herself first and you are always there for her. This is important. It's pretty much guaranteed that she is or will be a victim of this man's abuse, so make it clear you're ride or die. This is part of your insurance against isolation. Call your brother and apologize for your reaction. Then act like he must be concerned. Act concerned for him. How are you managing this? You must be so scared for her. It must have been awful to realize you couldn't protect her. Yep, lay on the shame by pretending to be concerned and empathetic. Find out how and where they met. Pretend to be interested in a cute way. Aw, how did you meet? If this man is in any sort of job that brings him near to minors, report him. Do a social media search. Is he recently divorced? Etc. Well, the community agrees that OP was not the a-hole and that this is concerning and gave him very good advice. So now let's move on to the first of 4 updates that OP has given us to this story. So I've taken the past 24 hours to really reflect on all of this. I tried to take in most of the advice in the comments, and here's what I've decided. I don't think that me telling her and everyone that the relationship is weird was wrong. I do, however, think that I did it wrong and it was pretty harsh because it was in the heat of the moment. But I still find this very creepy and don't think she should get married. What I've decided to do is: 1. I apologized to her. I sent her a text saying I was sorry for my outburst and that I should have thought it through beforehand. I told her that I never wanted to make her feel like I didn't want her to be happy and that I loved her very much and had her best interest in mind. 2. Ask her if we could talk about this. I asked if she would be okay and free to hang out and maybe get coffee this week to talk about all of this with a clear head. I really want to try and get her to see why it's weird and that maybe marrying him is not a great choice. 3. Explain myself to my brother. I sent him a text saying that I was sorry for the way I said it, but that I still thought that it needed to be said. I explained to him why I think Mark is a predator and this relationship could have a very negative and damaging impact on Ella. I'm still waiting on their replies. I'll update when they reply or when I see Ella if she accepts, depending on how long it would take. In the meantime, I really want to thank everyone who gave me advice and was constructive and really tried to help my niece out in this situation. I also sent my best to all the people in the comments sharing similar stories when they were the teenager getting groomed. I'm so sorry this happened to you and I really hope you're doing better now. Okay, OP is taking his first steps, so let's not waste any time and move on straight to the next update. So, following my text, Ella replied and told me she agreed to meet with me and talk. I just came back from seeing her. Here's how it went. She asked me what I wanted to tell her, and I started explaining that I didn't think her relationship was very healthy and that no older guy should want to date a teenager. I told her that she was an incredible woman, so I wasn't saying it was weird that someone would want to marry her, but that guys my age shouldn't even look at a teenager. She wasn't convinced and said that sometimes it's true, but sometimes it's okay. I asked her how she would feel if I told her that someone born today could be her future partner, and she said it felt really weird. I also asked her if she would consider dating someone younger than 15. And she said no. I could see her starting to realize that Mark maybe didn't have the best intentions. I also asked her if she knew about his previous relationship, and she said vaguely and just told me the girl's name. I asked her if she knew how old the girl was, and she said she was 21. I also asked her if she knew that their relationships overlapped, and she said that Mark always told her he was single since they met, but she kind of felt like that wasn't true. I told her that since his previous girlfriend was also significantly younger, it seemed like he had a thing for younger girls, which is kind of weird. After discussing that, she told me a bit more about her relationship. She told me she was starting to feel weird about it because of Mark's recent behavior. I asked what she meant, and she said that he had been flirting with a lot of girls who were all also younger, including some of Ella's friends. When she confronted him, he sort of gaslit her into thinking it wasn't flirting. He was also making a lot of comments about having children with Ella and how cute it would be to see her raise them. She told me she was absolutely not ready for that and also wanted to go to college and work and not be a stay-at-home mom. Because of all of that, she was doubting her relationship, and I told her that I understood. She said she was scared of breaking up with him because he had become her whole life recently and she didn't know what she would do without him. I told her that she was surrounded by people who loved her and would be there for her, and that she was a lot more than just Mark's girlfriend. I said that she knew my opinion on it, but that ultimately the choice was hers and that I just wanted her to be happy. I also said I would be there for her no matter what. She told me that she will try to break up with him this week, and she'll let me know how it goes. I'll edit this post if I have more information. Also, again, thank you to everyone who gave advice and tried to help us. I really appreciate it. It sounds like Hopi had a really good conversation with Ella, so now let's move on to the next update. I know it's been a while since I posted the last update, and a lot of people have been requesting updates on the whole situation, but until now I hadn't really received any news. So please forgive me if this update took a while to come. Since my conversation with Ella, I would check in on her once or twice a week and ask how things were, and she'd always tell me pretty much the same as what she told me a month ago. Basically, there were many red flags and she was getting more and more uncomfortable in her relationship, but she also didn't know how to break up with him. I tried to give her some advice, but eventually told her that I thought she should do it when she felt comfortable. Yesterday, I called her to know what she had planned for the holidays and if she'd be coming to the dinner that I was hosting and if Mark would be coming. That's when she told me that she had broken up with him the evening before. She was pretty shaken up, so I didn't ask for too much detail and asked if she wanted to come to my house for a while. She said that Mark had left to stay with his family when she told him, so she was okay staying home. This is maybe not a very detailed update, but here's what I know. She told me that he had been getting angry at her all week for small things. And then they were talking about the holidays and he insisted that they shouldn't go with Ella's family and instead spend a week with his family because they see them less often. They live out of state. And after that, he made a comment about how he hoped that the next year as a present, they could give his mother a grandchild. And Ella said that's what made her break up with him. And she also told me that she would be coming alone for the holidays. I don't know what she told him or how he reacted, and maybe she'll tell me more in a while when she feels better. And if not, I won't ask her to. Again, thank you to anyone who gave advice and tried to help with this situation. Okay, it seems like Ella made the right choice. So now let's move on to the final update to see how this story ends. I know it has been months since my last update, and to be honest, I logged off Reddit and completely forgot about it. My niece and I were just reminiscing about everything that happened, and I decided to show her the post I had made back then and the comments. She read a lot of it and wanted me to thank all of the people that were kind and gave advice or tried to help her. She also told me to tell all the people who shared similar stories how sorry she was that it happened to them. Some people were also asking for updates, so we wanted to let you know what the situation was. Since she broke up with him, Marcus tried to come back multiple times, apologizing for the things he said and trying everything to win her back. He was very insistent, but she never took him back, and I'm really proud of her for that. She managed to find a nice apartment and has cut all contact with him. I guess you could say that's all well that ends well. It wasn't easy, but Ella has been strong and now she's happier than ever, which is the only thing that matters. Thank you to everyone who helped and supported her. Your kindness meant a lot to the both of us. Wishing you all the best. Opie's edit. I forgot to say this and I feel like it's important to share it. While we were talking, Ella was originally telling me that she was very ashamed and felt stupid for not seeing how bad the relationship was. She somehow felt like it was her fault for being too naive. I reassured her and told her that in no way was it her fault, but what really helped her see that was reading all the similar experiences that happened to other people. Maybe it seems stupid, but she realized that it wasn't any of those people's fault, so it wasn't hers either, and she wasn't the one who should be ashamed. All of this to say, this is the very reason why I think it's so important to talk about those things. Just knowing that you're not alone, that it happened to others can really help. To anyone out there going through something similar, you are not alone. Well, OP, I think this is a very good and positive update. Ella broke up with him and actually got him out of her life forever and is happier than ever, so good for her. Thanks so much for sharing, OP, and take care. And now let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's by user Zealous Ideal Ear 7529. Am I the a-hole for filing a police report on a good friend who was caught on video stealing my boyfriend's camera at a dinner? She has refused to help me either replace it in full or contribute to the cost of replacing it. We were out to dinner one night at an expensive hotel. My boyfriend let me borrow his Canon G7X 1800 camera to bring to take pictures with my friends. At the conclusion of the dinner, I went up to the room and realized the camera was gone. I went back right down to the table and no one had seen it. I immediately got with hotel security and she is on video, clear as day, swiping the camera when my back was turned and shoving it in her purse. I covered for her initially with my friend and contacted her to find a resolution. She had taken the camera with her and my other friends to a club after dinner, which I did not attend, and lost it there. For background, this is my good college friend who I knew well, the camera thief. She has been taken on free trips to Coachella and St. Bart's on my dime, not kidding, as well as many other things. We have done a lot together and are good friends, so I expected her to feel sorry. Initially, she lied, saying she did not have it. When I told her we had video, she confessed and then said yes, she took it, but lost it at the next bar she went to with my other friends. It is now gone. I asked her to help me replace it by going in on me with the cost. She has refused all measured or resolutions. And now I feel I have nothing left to do but file a police report and let them handle it. It is impacting my relationship and I am furious my friend is not helping at all. Why should I be on the hook for something she stole? I have given her 3 weeks to help me resolve this, but she insists she is going to do nothing. I am being pressed by my boyfriend to either replace the camera or help him file a police report with her information and the footage. I even asked her to just throw in half or less than half of the cost to help, but she still refuses. I do not want her to get in trouble, but I am at the point where I feel she really does not care. That's because she doesn't, OP. She doesn't care. She is a user. Your whole friendship is you taking her places and she just enjoying what you're giving her. She clearly doesn't respect you. I mean, she stole from you, lied about it because I'm pretty sure that camera is not lost. But it's not all on her, OP. You're letting her use you. I mean, you got to the point where you were asking her, begging her to even give you less than half and you would cover the rest just to save what? This crappy friendship? I'm sure you don't see it right now, but hopefully you will. This is not a friend, OP. Cut her loose and file the police report. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Pleasant Tax 8290 says, "You're the a-hole. Is there a reason you're choosing your thieving friend over your boyfriend? She's made it clear she's not your friend and that she's not going to make this right. The police report should have been filed the moment she said she wasn't going to pay for it. If I were your boyfriend, I would be reconsidering the relationship with you over this. You're really dragging your feet to make this right. Get the report made and replace his camera." Xmandry says, "Are you for real? A person steals from you and you need to ask Reddit if it's okay to go to the police for it?" And No Name Johnson Moore says, "Not the a-hole. She didn't lose it. She hawked it. She isn't your friend. File a police report." Well, the majority of the community agrees that OP is the a-hole for what she's doing to her boyfriend by not filing the police report, and other people are just telling her to do it already. So now let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. I sent her a text this AM telling her if I do not receive full cost of the camera or shipping confirmation of a new camera from an approved vendor to a provided address by end of day Friday, we will be filing a report with the police Saturday AM. I felt like an a-hole typing this out to her, but I have to do it. She told me she is sick of me and that I will be receiving a tracking number by 12 Eastern on Friday and not to blame her if the package is never received. I told her if she was my real friend, she would be sorry and in no way will I allow this to be flipped on me. Should I ask if the camera is new or the one that disappeared? OP's final update. She sent me a tracking number via FedEx. It says it is a waiting package. I have asked her repeatedly if she is sending me the original camera, assuming it magically turned up, or a new one. She refuses to answer and only tells me to stop bothering her. Well, OP, you got a tracking number, but it doesn't mean you're gonna get a package because FedEx might never get the package. So just have all the documents ready to file that report anytime soon. Here's wishing you the best, OP. Thanks for sharing. And now let's finish this video with a quick mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance and it's by user FullStrawberry102. Shut it all down now! Sure, no problem. I worked at a restaurant movie theater as a dishwasher that was open really late sometimes. Most nights that I closed, I had to wait to turn off, drain, and clean out the dish machine because it took a little for the buzzer to collect every dish from every theater. This guy was buddy-buddy with management and treated me and other dishes as below him. More often than not, I would be told, "This should be the last of it," by someone bringing dishes late, but it was never true. I got in the habit of asking if they're sure or if I should wait. Well, this particular night, he wasn't feeling very patient, and when I asked if that was really everything, he cut me off saying, "Shut it down now," before quickly leaving the kitchen. It seemed too early in my opinion, but hey, he seemed quite agitated and I wanted to go home. So I drained the machine and cleaned it out, then shut down the rest of the dish pit. By the time I was done and the manager was checking me out, I see him meekly bagging up 2 full tubs of dishes. Dude never even made eye contact with me again while I worked there. Well, OP, you just did what your coworker was asking you to do. I guess he learned his lesson. Thanks so much for sharing, OP. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.